Hi, this is Roxana from Avitiva, and today is day 28 of the 100-day challenge, and it's Monday, and that means that it's Opinion Monday. Now, the selection of today's topic was based on two things. Number one, I don't know if you saw it on the weekend, but there is a comedian that was giving his opinion on parenthood and got heckled, and the heckler got owned by the comedian, and it actually was pretty funny to see. And as I was having a conversation about what happened with this heckler and the whole situation, the topic of parenting and social media came up, but not the way you think. So hear me out. So to give you the short version of the long story, the comedian was saying that being a parent doesn't make you special. Being a parent, successfully parenting your child into being a normal human being was. And in the process, he was comparing having a child to ordering a pizza, and this lady got upset and started heckling him, and it just evolved into this complete disaster where he basically told her a thing or two. Now, before I continue, I want you to know that I am a mother. My child is now 24 years old, and I agree with him. Just the fact of just having a baby doesn't make you any more special than any other animal in the animal planet. I mean, we all are capable of having children. Some of us are not able to have them ourselves, and we have to hire somebody to have them for them. But having a kid is not hard. Raising a good kid is a hard thing. Now, when I was having that conversation, and this is where part two comes in, I was having this conversation with my mother and my daughter, and I was talking about how people tend to think that if they post all these positive comments about their kids in social media, I don't know if they do it because they want to reinforce something, or they do it because they want everybody to know how good their kids are doing, or because they want to boast. It doesn't really matter why they do it. It doesn't seem as legitimate for some reason to me, and that's my opinion. Now, we've all had the one friend who is always talking about their kid, and it seems like they don't have any other topic of conversation. And this happens a lot with first-time parents, and I've been guilty of it, that when we start a conversation, we usually start it with the kid because that's all we live at that particular point. But as the conversation goes on, we start talking about other things. I'm not talking about those people. I'm also not talking about the people that post pictures of their children, because that is the whole point of having social media, is posting whatever you want to post. What I'm talking about is, when you have a friend and they are married and they're always, I love you on social media, and 2 months later, they're divorced. Well, the equivalent to that when it comes to kids is, oh, my kid is so great. They have perfect grades. They have straight A's, and they're the captain of the baseball team, and blah, 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 blah. And 2 months later, kid's pregnant and dropped out of high school. That's the example that I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't post whatever you want on Facebook or social media in general. What I'm saying is, balance it out with actually telling your kid. Because I don't know about your kids, but my kid hates going on my Facebook unless I tell her to go and check out something I posted. So there are very limited chances that your kid is seeing how you talk about them on social media, number one. Number two, it really doesn't, and this is equivalent in the old days to when your parents would go out with their friends and just talk about how good their kids were and whatnot. If you don't tell your kids how you feel, and you're always telling everybody but your kids, there's something wrong with that relationship. There just is. So what I'm saying is not don't post things. What I'm saying is, if you want to be a good parent, tell your kids how you feel. Tell them how proud you are. Tell them how good they are. Let them know that they're doing great. And by the way, that also means if they're not doing great, you tell them. the thing about not telling them when they're not doing so great is, if you have 9 times when you've told them how great they are, and then the one time that they mess up, you let them know, well, mistakes happen, and you deal with it in a adult manner with your kids, so that they don't feel like, oh my god, now I lost all my parents' love because I did this one bad thing. You should be okay. uh, I will tell you that if you need advice on how to deal with your children, because you don't really know how to deal with your children, seek professional help. I'm not a professional in that area. The only experience I have is raising a 24-year-old daughter who, thank God, never got into alcohol or drugs or anything like that. Um, she has her good things. She has her not so great things. We tend to talk about her like, um, she is. We make a lot of jokes about her because she makes some comments that scare us sometimes. But the thing about it is this: she has her own personality. She has good things and bad things. And so do I, and so does her father, and so does everyone. There is no such a thing as a person that is good 100% of the time. And I'll give you the example. Even the biggest animal lover has stepped on a cockroach or an ant at some point in their life. I'm not saying that you do horrible things. What I'm saying is that sometimes we make mistakes. We're all human. And there's nothing wrong with that. What you have to do is make sure that when your kids do something good, let them know. When they do something bad, let them know that you are paying attention. Because sometimes kids will do bad things because they want to know that you're paying attention. If you tell them when they're doing good, and then tell them, ask them to talk to you when they're doing bad things, they know that you're always looking at you. And most of them will not do a lot of terrible things. They will have accidents because accidents happen, and they will make mistakes. But they won't do bad things on purpose because they know you're always there. And like I said, I know social media is convenient, and I know that we all like to boast about how good our kids are. The bottom line is, just like a marriage, if you don't tell your spouse directly and you tell them on social media all the time, they're just going to think you're doing it for show. They're not, if they ever read your wall, they're not going to actually pay attention to what you say unless you have a conversation face to face. So this is Roxana for Avid Diva. What do you think? Leave your comments below. I am going to find the video of the comedian, so I'm going to post it down below as well. You have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.